Little Puppet, was that the same experience for you in that reading?
You found out? Yeah.
Because you had worked with Eddie in Stand and Deliver already.
Yeah. We met back in, I guess it was 86, when we were prepping Stand and Deliver. So we made that movie, and then I was in Miami Vice, and I was flying back from Miami with Eddie, and he started talking about American Me. And this was like 2 years before we made the movie. So I got involved, as I had in with Stand and Deliver, I got involved in prepping, as Danny Aro had. You know, we got involved in all of the, you know, the production, the meetings. We met with the corrections department and a lot of very shady characters. So,
so you were at the very beginning then, right when this started with Edward James Olmos, even before the casting happened then.
Yeah, he wanted me to play a little puppet, and I said I would if he didn't cast this guy.
How'd that work out for you?
All right.
All right. And then Panchito, you're getting cast as the younger Edward James Olmos. How much weight was on you, you know, when you got that part? What was, you know, coming off that you had a film career at that point? What was that kind of experience once you got cast?
Well, the funny story is that, you know, like you said, I played Eddie twice. He's a lot better looking than I am, which is okay. But I got a call one day, and Eddie and I have been friends since the mid-70s, or late 70s, when I met Danny DeLorenzo. And he was doing Zoot Suit, and I came out of New York, Puerto Rican. Him and his wife and his kids, they took me and my mother into their arms, and we became friends. So one day, I guess, when did we go? 91? Yeah, 91, he calls me and he says, yo, I told him, Eddie, I'm mad at you. He goes, why? He goes, because you did Stand and Deliver and my ass wasn't in that movie. And he told me, he goes, I got something special for you, mijo. I said, whatever, dude. So he calls me about a month later, he goes, did you get a script called Blood In, Blood Out? I said, yeah. He goes, put that away. No,
right.
No, it's a great movie.
Right.
But he told me, I was like, why, man? Shit. The script was like a Bible. It was huge. So I started reading the script and I said, okay, well, I didn't know. So I go and, like you said,
just on that point right there, a lot of people don't know that the movie kind of split off into Blood In, Blood Out and American Me. It was the same story by Mutrux, and then Desmond Nakano, who wrote Boulevard Nights, came in and did the script for American Me. That's where the differences are. Not just that, there was a Latino director on American Me, which Taylor Hackford's an amazing director, but he wasn't Latino, and he was the director of Blood In, Blood Out.
So to make a long story short, excuse me, so I go in with A, and he goes, hey, you're gonna come in and you're gonna do this. I said, I don't know what the hell. So I go in, I meet with the producers, and I meet with Eddie, and he goes, all right, he wrote this role for you, Richard Coca, and the white guy. Funny stuff is that the white guy is not really white, he's Venezolano. And speaks fluent Spanish. So
he's Venezuelan, but that's okay.
So we're in East LA, okay, to go back, I got the role and I turned it down twice because he told me, hold up, there's money here. I called Danny De La Paz. Danny, what do you think? He goes, do what he tells you. So we did. Anyway, it happened. I was honored. And like he said, to be honest, those roles were written for certain people. And like I said, when I asked him, I was pissed off with him. I told him, you know, Stand and Deliver, bro, you threw me under the bus.
Right.
But he told me. So then I go and we start the movie. And we're in East LA shooting. And Richard Coca, God bless his soul, wherever the hell you are, Richie, I wish he was here. And Steve Wilcox and me in Hazard, in the middle of the night, and we're walking, and the cholos are there. So Steve and I speak Spanish, so to Richie, and I go, Steve, ¿qué toca el otro? Y me said, no, papi, ¿qué toca? And the Chicanos were like, what the hell, the white guy speaks Spanish?
That actually happens in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, when he shows up in prison.
But to make a long story short, at the end of the day, this was one of the greatest projects that I've done in my life, and I've been acting since I was 5 years old. I started on Sesame Street.
Right.
Me and Danny De La Paz worked together when I was 12 years old.
Right.
After school specials. together called
And now,
Gaucho.
and now you get to sit next to Diana Ortelli.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
I did. You want to talk about Danny the Past? When I was 7 years old, I did a show when she was 9.
Right? Don't give up her age. Diana,
That's what I just said.
Diana, the casting
And
for
there we are.
the casting for you, you know, you're actually having to recreate, or you know, you're getting put in the situation of recreating the Zusu riots. You know, what was that experience like? You know, we never seen that on film. You know, presented that authentically and that brutally. What was shooting like that day? How did you get cast?
I got cast in the traditional casting process. Bob Morones called me in, and I did meet with Eddie, who I knew because we did Suit. Wasn't like really good friends with him, but I knew him. And so we had a meeting, and he said, "Hey, you grew up in East LA, huh?" And I said, "Actually, I grew up in Nuevo Laredo, Tamaulipas, but I'm a home girl now." Anyway, and I also a home girl. I know I didn't audition for Colors.
And then, well, this is a much better movie. But when
Much
you found
better
it,
movie.
yeah. And so when you came on, when you got cast, and you're on set, and you got the zoot suits and the sailors and that entire scene.
Absolutely phenomenal experience. I mean, like what you dream about, like a real Hollywood set, 1940s recreated, the trolley cars, and then you see all the Marines, the uniforms, the pachucos, the tattoo parlor, the attention to detail, the authenticity. It was just unbelievable.
How many days did it take to shoot that scene? Do you remember?
How many days?
Yeah.
I think it was about a week.
Okay.
And what I love the most actually is the way they shot Sal Lopez. They attached the camera to his chest. So when they're carrying him out, you know, the camera is capturing it. It was just fascinating to watch. And, you know, of course, the women allegedly get raped in the movie. And those were the most polite Marines. They just kept saying, you know, please excuse us, but, you know, we're doing our job, whatever. Right. But it was really, really a phenomenal experience.
Great.
Yeah.
And with Pepe Serna, you and Eddie go way back. Pepe Serna is here. Mundo from American Me,
He's a legend.
from Buckaroo Banzai. He is a Chicano icon. Absolutely.
Wow.
So Pepe, what was the casting like for you? You know, did Eddie just say, hey, I want you to do this movie, or did he woo you? Did he have to woo you, or were you like, no, I'm all in?
No, our story is really interesting, but I'll cut to another one real quick. That Diana came in a very close second to Evelina's part, and blew us all away because she was a comedian. You know, we all knew her as this funny girl, and then she came in and just kicked butt. Because then I'll get to my thing. Is the first day I ever met Eddie Olmos was in 1976. I was doing an offshoot of Medical Center, and Eddie came in as a glorified extra. He was just supposed to take a hit and go into a wall. And the director, Gene Reynolds, who had gone to school was a child actor with Elizabeth Taylor, was the president of the Directors Union at the time, was the director of that TV show. So the director tells me, and I forget the name of another Chicano güero. Anyway, he and I was going to be one of the regulars on the show, and Eddie was just supposed to take a hit, and the director said, "Are you guys ready?" And we said, "Yeah, we're ready." Okay. And Eddie says, "Excuse me." He says, "I would like some cardboard boxes back here," because we had to knock him into the wall. And I looked at him and I said, "Here's a Chicano telling the director he needs some cardboard boxes. I'm 75 years old and I'm still enough. I would still go into that wall without the boxes, you know." But Eddie already knew to ask for it because he's not big. But so he said, so I coined the phrase that day. I said, "Oh, that's Eddie. Almost had a line."
And then he becomes your director, you know, so many years later.
But this is no, this is American Me coming up. So he says he had just come off the movie with Floyd Mutrix, Aloha Bobby and Rose, as another glorified extra. And the year 1976. This is 1976. He says, look, he says, I have a script that I just got from the director. And I'm thinking, you know, you just got a script from a director and you're an extra? And he gave you a script? You know, this is all in my head. He says, and you're gonna be the guy who kills me. And 15 years later, I was the guy that killed you. And he would call me up every night for about a year, doing his dialogue, changing the script. But they wouldn't give him credit for the dialogue that he wrote, because with the writers union, you can't, it's very tight. You can't get in, even though he wrote a lot of that stuff. Was his own making. So, yeah, so 15 years I had that part. And finally the day came, and this is the best part of the story, is that he made sure that every actor that was working got paid the same as the most money they had ever made. Because the studios are always trying to get you down, you know, they'll get you down, especially if you want to do something. But he said, no, whatever you made, your top of the line, that's what you're gonna make. And so
that's very rare in this business, where, you know, the directors are looking out for his cast. And it just goes to show you, everyone's has said that at least once, that how long it took for this movie just to get made. 15 years.
Not to mention everybody he hired behind the camera. There was Chicanos everywhere.
I want to get to Evelina Fernandez, who plays Julie and is pretty much the heart of this film.
Julie.
And Evelina, like, what was the casting process like for you? And coming from the theater, what was your first impression of the script? Were you given the whole script prior to being cast, or did you not get the whole script until after you were cast?
No, I never saw the script until after I was cast. But, well, Eddie, you know, I too am a lifelong friend of Eddie. We also met doing Zoot Suit. So over the years, he mentioned American Me to me and to Sal. Sal's not here, and he would always say, yeah, I'm gonna make this movie. I want you guys to be in my movie. I want you guys to be in my movie. We're like, okay, you know, when you're gonna make the movie? And then, you know, we would go, Sal and I would go to like, you know, juvie, to camps and stuff, to talk to the young people, do some motivational speaking with them, because I am from East LA. Yeah. I went to Rowan Avenue, Stevenson Junior High School, Garfield High School, East LA College, Cal State LA. And I know that these beautiful women auditioned for my role, but
they're all still here and they're still friends, so
yeah, and they're, you know, I'm no more talented than they are, but I think Eddie cast me in the role because I am from East LA, and he wanted some authenticity for Julie. I had no idea that they were auditioning. Lupe Ontiveros and I had stayed up all night the night before because we had shot a short film in my house in East LA. We had gone to bed like at 5 o'clock in the morning, and this was before cell phones, okay? So my phone was ringing, I'm like, oh man, I'm so tired. And I pick up the phone and my agent is like, I've been looking for you. Edward James almost wants you to go in for a screen test. When? Today. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I tell my husband, listen, Luis, I'm supposed to do a screen test for Eddie today. He's like, get up, take a shower, go get ready. I get up, you know, go drive to Universal, and I walk in, and I thought I was was auditioning for Vera's role. I didn't know I was auditioning for Julie. And so then I walk in the room and Pepe's there. And I'm like, oh, there's Pepe. And then, so I go into the makeup room and they do my makeup, my hair and everything. And I'm like looking at the sides, just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. And then Pepe, I'm so nervous. I haven't slept all night. Pepe, what do I do? And he gave me the best direction I've ever gotten in my whole life. He said, just be. And I said, okay, just be. No, that's not true. He's lying. Oh, him. So,
Siéntate,
yeah,
güey.
medicinal.
Pinche burro, siéntate, la verga.
So I went in. I think you were there, Danny, right? Were you there for my screen test? And went in. I didn't know how I did or what. I just know I was so nervous that it really helped, because sometimes when you're nervous, your emotions are like really raw, right? And my emotions really needed to be raw for that scene that we were doing. And so I did the screen test, whatever. I left. I was in the makeup room. Eddie came in, and I said, "So, what am I auditioning for? Vera's role, the Esperanza?" And he goes, "No, you're auditioning for Julie." And then I got even more nervous. So we did the screen test. I left. I was like, "Okay."